always great having my next guest on the show. It's El Animal, Blake Bilder, who will be back in action February the 3rd at UFC Vegas 85 when he takes on Jeong Yeong Lee. Blake, how are you, sir?
Oh man, I'm blessed and highly favored, my boy. God is so good, and training is so great, and life is just amazing right now. So I feel amazing. I feel ready. How are you?
I'm good, my man, and I'm glad to talk to you again. I can't believe it's already 2024. So let me just start there. How was your Christmas and New Year's?
Christmas and New Year's was perfect. It's like it was friends who are like family to me, and the New Year's was brought in me and my boxing coach and one of our buddies and his family. They were making homemade pupusas, so I had like one or two, and I called it quits. Like can't have too much. My nutrition's been locked in, but it was good, man. I got to worship Christ at my church. With a bunch of amazing people, and it was a huge blessing, man. It was a huge blessing. I can't believe it's
Fantastic.
2024.
I know it's crazy, isn't it? Well,
Yeah.
it's been 6 months since we saw you fight last. So, I mean,
Yep.
what has life been like for you since? Have you just been in the gym every day grinding, which I'm assuming will be your answer?
Yeah. I've been working on the social media stuff a little bit. Like getting the algorithm right. Had quite a few videos that went viral. Got the social media up, so that was cool. It was fun. But yeah, it's like for me, I'm a gym rat. Like I could have all the money in the world, but I would still want to wake up early, have my coffee, not necessarily want to go to the gym, but then when you go to the gym, you always feel a million times better. It's just hard when it's 5:30 a.m. Your body just wants to relax and rest. Um, However, I live for those moments, like when I don't have bye te quiero mucho. When I don't have like a fight coming up, it almost seems like a vaporous existence. Like you're just for the motions, waiting for that next fight to come. You're anticipating that next challenge, that next thing to overcome. So I've just been staying in the gym and staying active, staying busy, and steady growing.
Oh, we definitely can't wait to see you back in action, man. I want to talk about the last fight that you did have. It's the first loss of your career, and tough
Yep.
opponent. Kyle Nelson. It went the distance, unanimous decision. How difficult was that to process? What would you have done differently looking back at the fight now?
Definitely would have focused a lot on my wrestling. Maybe studied a little bit more tape. We had him hurt a few times in the fight, but couldn't get him out of there. Caught a nasty groin kick at the beginning of the second round that I was recovering from for most of that round. Ref didn't see it. And that's all right. There was just a few things that I could have improved on with it's all discipline issues, right? Like I tell most fighters in the game, I go, look, most people lose not because they're not physically trained enough, but because they're not disciplined enough. They don't discipline the diet. They don't discipline the recovery. They're overtraining, and under recovering. It's little things like that, that add up after a while. You say you're gonna wake up at 5 a.m. for the mountain run, but you do it at 7, and it's those little things where you said you were gonna do it at this time. You said that you were gonna do this, and then you still do it, but you don't do it at the time that you said that you were gonna do it. So I think having mind, body, spirit all connected, and keeping good discipline, keeping your word to yourself. I feel like that's something that I've really got down now. My nutrition is like dialed in. I'm way ahead of schedule. My weight is a lot lower than what it normally is, and I'm just feeling amazing.
So it
Little
sounds like,
things like that, you know, right?
sure, yeah, no doubt. So it sounds like maybe this loss in the end may be a blessing. It helps get you redialed in and focused.
Yeah, totally. You know, it's like you learn a lot from your wins for sure, and you really learn from those losses. You know, and you know, losses are lessons. You know, so there's a lesson to be learned in the loss. You know, and the lesson is like, let's not keep losing. You know, let's learn, correct the mistakes, correct the behavior, correct the attitude, correct the disciplines that need to be did, and move forward and get back into the win column, you know, and get the coaches that are necessary, get the teammates that are necessary, the sparring that's necessary, you know, and push yourself in different ways. Also, you know, sometimes there's overtraining, you know, and the overtraining comes from the lack of confidence in the innate training. Oh, I need to do more because I'm insecure and I'm afraid that what I'm doing might not be enough.
Yeah.
Right. So your quality of training, why are you doing what you're doing? You know, the attention mixed with intention, you know, put into every training session. So I feel like those are things that I've addressed and that I've changed, and my physique is completely different than what it's ever been, and recovery is on point. You know, it's incredible.
Well, that's a scary thought for Mr. Lee, because you've always been in great shape. If you're in better shape now, then it might be a long night for him come February 3rd.
Yeah, that's what we plan for it, or a short night.
Very true. Tell me, we're
Right?
talking about camp and training partners. You clearly just finished training to talk to me here. So tell me about the guys you got around you. Who have been like your main training partners for this particular camp?
Yeah, well, we have Ghost Pepper. He's a 55er. We got Emmer, who's in my weight class, coming off a big knockout win in Madison Square Garden. Got like a lot of up and coming boxers, you know, that are doing good. I've been getting really good sparring in with Ashton Silva, H2O, up at his gym in Long Beach, Jackrabbit. You know, he's 11-0 with 10 knockouts, super slick fighter. We got some work in with some guys from San Diego. Really solid, high quality work. You know, so also my boy Taco, you know, Taco Padilla, you know, he's an absolute monster. He was gonna be fill-in for the Bobby Green Jalen Turner fight, but Jalen got the contract signed before they could give it to Taco. So
Gotcha.
I got really good people around me. Lots of high level guys, lots of high level coaching.
I wanted to ask you one thing too about, fighting in the Apex, because when I talk to a lot of fighters in the UFC, they don't want to fight at the Apex. They want to fight at big pay-per-view cards, which you have. You've been traveling to, Canada.
Yep.
You were in Australia before then, right? So like, is it almost
Yep.
nice to be in Vegas to fight at the Apex so you don't have to deal with all the traveling and all that stuff that comes with it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice because the UFC will give you and your coach, you and one coach, hotel stay and flight. However, you have three coaches in that corner, sometimes four. So flying two more coaches to Australia, getting an extra room for two more coaches, it starts to add up, and then all the traveling on top of that, you you're facing jet lag, 28-hour flight
Yeah.
to Perth, Australia. It's a lot to organize. So it's going to be nice to be able to just take a 4-hour drive or a 45-minute flight over to Vegas. Hear my coaches. The one thing that I wish I had was my home crowd cheering for me. I've been getting booed all the time, so I'd love some cheering behind me, but that's okay. You know, we'll get some cheering in later on. I'm excited. I like the Apex. When I fought there for the Dana White Contender Series, it was really cool. You can like hear the guy breathing, so you can test their breathing pattern. You can hear your coaches perfectly. I can hear Cormier talking. Yeah, it's interesting. They called me a slow starter, and I like looked over and I was like, slow starter. I was like, all right, time to turn it up. And I think like 30 seconds after Cormier said that, is when I landed that big overhand right, and then hopped on Alex Morgan's back.
Well, I'm going to be excited to see you back fighting in the Apex. And who knows, maybe in 2024, you'll get that opportunity to fight on another big pay-per-view card in your home country. So you'll have some fans screaming your name as you walk to the octagon versus the opposite, wearing the black hat.
Yeah, we're going to make it happen. I have a very strong feeling and indication that that's going to be happening very soon. Trust me. Like, right now, God is so good. We're so blessed. The team is so strong, and every day we're just diligently, constantly and consistently staying disciplined and focused on the goal at hand. So we are ready for whatever comes our way.
Let me ask you about your opponent here. Again, Jeong Yeong Lee. He's 10-1, 4
Yep.
TKO victories, 3 submission victories. He's a dangerous opponent. When you look at him and you study tape, what are you expecting here come fight night?
Yeah, I'm expecting a guy who is he has great takedown defense. He's very active, very loose. You know, we just feel like we'll have like solid defense for his attacks. You know, we work our defense a lot. We're very active with our movement. There's things that he's great at that we're ready to handle, and there's things that he's great at that we're ready to avoid and stay away from. That could frustrate him and get him to overreach and make him pay for it. You know, also, you know, like the ground is my playground. You know, I'm very good, very talented there, and I've been learning and programming different movements and different philosophies from that area. So my IQ is definitely leveled up in that area. I feel confident and ready in my approach for Jeong Yeong Lee. He's very skilled. We're not taking him lightly at all. He is a top prospect, and he has a lot of skill. However, I feel that we'll be able to tackle that and shut his attacks down.
With his high level takedown defense, do you anticipate this fight early on playing out on the feet?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think you know, you know, like, you know, I'm not gonna like give away like a game plan, and everybody's got a game plan until you get hit too, you know, so it doesn't really matter. But I feel like the grapplers that he's gone against aren't as skilled or as improved as I am. We've really improved it a lot since the last fight. We noticed that those are some areas where had we gotten Kyle Nelson down, would have been a very different story. So we worked a lot of takedowns. We worked a lot of positioning. Our striking has improved tremendously. You know, I just feel like I will be able to get him down if I so choose to.
Stylistically, Blake, have you fought anybody previous to this matchup that's very similar, or is this kind of like a new animal that you're taking on as far as like your pro career goes?
Yeah, as far as like pros, he's like definitely like probably like the most like elusive, kind of like Taekwondo, karate style type fighter. However, like I feel one of the things that is good about my style is my adaptability, my ability to be able to like see something, recognize patterns, and then overcome and disable that pattern to work for my benefit. Mm-hmm. And I haven't necessarily fought anybody like him. However, I have sparred a lot of people that had similar styles to him, and I know how to handle it.
Official prediction: do you get him out of there, or is this going to be a really close fight? Maybe go to the judges.
Lee within 3. I'm gonna
You're
get
gonna
Lee within 3.
you're
Trust me.
getting Lee within 3. I like it. You're
Yeah,
even making a rhyme with it.
yeah. Got him, man. I got it. I just feel so confident, bro. I just feel like the level that we're on, and with God in my corner, you know, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. You know, so that's just my truth.
Well, it makes sense. You got the Tupac shirt on, so getting a rhyme in there would only make sense with this interview.
Right?
Let me ask you this, Blake. What are your goals for 2024? Is there anything like specifically you want to accomplish as far as number of fights or, certain types of performances like 50K bonuses, performance of the night? Like, what are you hoping to accomplish this calendar year?
Yeah, I mean, we have it written in our goals, you know, to get bonuses, staying active. You know, I had a small injury from the Shane Young fight, that I didn't quite let heal up fast enough before I took the Kyle Nelson fight. You know, so we're all healed up now. You know, I feel perfect. My body feels great. You know, so as long as the goal is to stay healthy and stay active fighting. You know, I want to keep fighting. Put on great shows for the UFC, for the fans, and just show everybody what my skill level is at. You know, I believe that I'm number 1 in the world. I say it every day on Instagram. I write it down in my goals almost every day, and I'm here to show why I'm here to stay. You know, he's a tough opponent. However, I feel as though he hasn't tackled an animal like me.
Mm-hmm. I love it, man. Hey, did that injury affect your performance against Kyle Nelson?
It not in the fight. What it did was it affected training at the beginning of the camp. Yeah, it like beginning, I'd say the halfway through the camp. No excuses. A loss is a loss. Things happen. However, you know, it's like when I was striking, it was tough to deal with, and we had to work around it a lot, you know. So this camp, we're golden. Everything's feeling good. I'm firing on all cylinders. And recovery and mobility has been on point. Like I've been doing a lot of stretching and hanging. So my body just feels like flexible, pliable, good mobility, and I feel the best I've ever felt in my whole career. So I'm ready.
That's fantastic, man. You say hanging, sir. Are you using the inversion table?
I'm not using the inversion table, but I've been hanging from just like a pull-up bar. Okay. And so I'll grab like right here. I'll do that for like a minute and a half. And then I'll pull like my shoulder blades to the outside for an active hang, and then I'll just do a tight pull right here, and then outside. So I've been doing hanging for like 5 to 10 minutes a day, and I used to have like super tight, like super spinatus, like rotator cuff, like felt like it was like about to tear, yeah. You know, and now all of it just feels like super healthy. Like the muscles like pliable and just feels nice and stretchy, long and strong. So knee over toes guy says lengthening is strengthening, and I couldn't agree more, man. You know, lengthening is strengthening. So you know, now we're long and loose and feeling good.
Can't wait to see you back in there, man. Again, February the 3rd, UFC Vegas 85. Blake Bilder makes his return to action. As always, bud, I appreciate your time. Great talking to you. Before we do sign off, I want to give you the floor. Anyone you want to thank, anything you want to plug, floor is yours, bud.
Yeah, I just want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, you know, because without him, I'm nothing. So all glory to God first and foremost. And then after that, I want to thank all my coaches and my teammates, prior, and current, prior and present. I wouldn't be where I am without all the great coaches, all the great teammates, all the sponsors and all the people that have supported me. And I want to thank you, Ryan. You've always been really, really awesome to me and giving me good interviews and shown a lot of love. So anybody that's shown love, anybody that might even doubt me or show hate, I still want to thank you, because you're paying attention, and God is just so good, man. So I'm just first and foremost thankful to God and everything that He provides in my life. So yeah, big ups to everybody and my coaches, Chris Coley, Jinch Ninja, and the Flame.